I have been waiting for this day for quite a while now. Starting from today, October 3rd, we're able to pre-purchase the new expansion for the Lord of the Rings Online, the Corsairs of Umbar, and I think this might be my most anticipated expansion for quite a while now. Definitely if we're talking about full expansions, because honestly I wasn't the biggest fan of Gundabad, but maybe I'll need to give it another go before this releases, just to see if I've changed my mind. But what I wanted to do in this video is just go through the 3 different tiers of the expansion that you can buy and show what you get in them and make it just a little bit easier to make a choice on which one you should be getting. Unfortunately, unlike Before the Shadow, there's no discount for being VIP, which honestly kinda sucks because although not by much, this expansion is the most expensive expansion to be released. I do wish this was a returning thing, but maybe it's just a mini expansion specific thing. But they have kept the ability for you to buy one tier now and then upgrade in the future. So if you wanted the basics right now and then add on later, that is something you can still do. But without further ado, let's go through what you get at each tier. So starting off at the base Standard Edition, featuring, as you would expect, the Corsairs of Umbar expansion content once that's been fully released on the 1st of November. On release, the level cap is going to be increasing by 10 levels up to level 150, and we'll be gaining access to the Western King's Gondor, Outer Gondor, the Shield Isles, and Umbar itself. The expansion also includes some instances, specifically 2 3-player instances, 1 6-player instance, and a raid, with the instances said to be no later than March 2024. The brand new Mariner class is also made available as part of the Standard Edition, alongside, if you're anything like me and in desperate need of one, at character slots you can actually make a Mariner. Right now, this is the only way you can actually play the class, as it won't be available for Lotro points until May 2024, costing 1,000 Lotro points once it's been released. The expansion content itself will also become available in May 2024 for 2,995 Lotro points. Lastly, for the Standard Edition is the Swashbuckler frame and title, for every single one of your current and future characters on the account. This won't be something that comes with the Lotro point version of the expansion, so if you're super into collecting frames and titles like I am, then this is going to be the only way to obtain them. For the price, the Standard Edition clocks in at £30.99, $39.99 US dollars, $51.99 Canadian dollars, $62.99 New Zealand dollars, and $36.99 euros. So, as I said before, it's a teeny bit more expensive than the previous expansions, but Gundabad was £29.99, so it's just a £1 difference in total. So, moving on to the middle tier, the Collector's Edition, which in my opinion is probably the best value for the expansion, but that does depend on how you value certain things in the next bundle. As expected, everything from the Standard Edition is part of the Collector's Edition, just with a few extra goodies added on top. First thing is another frame and title combo, this time being the Fleet Merchant frame and title. The Corsair of Umbar Collector's Edition bonus items is what we're really here for though. Inside is the Fleet Merchant cosmetic armor set, along with the Fleet Merchant steed and accompanying Warsteed cosmetics. Each character also gets the Fennec Fox cosmetic pet by the name of Simon, but most importantly, or at least in my opinion, sorry Simon, is the Fleet Merchant's earring, which, like previous expansions, will award your character with a scaling earring that adds a 25% experience gain to your character up until level 140, allowing you to get those characters that aren't quite up to max level, ready for the next content once it's been released. One time per account, you'll also get the Improved Expedition Supplies, which contains 5 Reputation Acceleration Tomes, 1 Virtue Experience Accelerator, 5 100% Experience Accelerators, and 5 Rare Crafting Components. Though, remember this is only awarded once to the account, so make sure you log into the correct server once you've purchased. The Collector's Edition is available for £62.99, $79.99 US dollars, $104.99 Canadian dollars, $127.99 New Zealand dollars, or $72.99 euros. For the final tier, we have the Ultimate Fan Bundle, which once again includes everything that you get from the previous Collector's Edition, just with a few extras added on. Once again, we have another set of title and frames, with the Tidebreaker frame and title being added to all your characters. We also get the Corsairs of Umbar Ultimate Fan Bundle bonus items box, which contains the Tidebreaker's Raiment cosmetic armor, which might be one of my favorite cosmetic sets in the game so far, and comes in my favorite color by default, which is pretty great on top of that. We also get the Tidebreaker steed and accompanying Warsteed cosmetics, the Tidebreaker's weapon aura, a pet parrot named Polly that with the right cosmetic armor equipped can technically sit on your shoulder, and the swashbuckle emote, which might be up there with sword salute for my favorite emote. And this time I don't have to get saluted 100 times in order to use it. Like previous expansions, once the content is released, you'll get a housing item that will teleport you to the content once it's made available. Right now, I can't seem to find any information about what the item will be specifically, so we'll just have to wait and see what it ends up being. My hopes are on a model boat. One time per account, you'll also receive the Ultimate Expedition Supplies, which contains 15,000 Virtue Experience, 4 Virtue Experience Accelerators, and an Ultimate Carryall Selection Box, which allows you to pick any current carryall for your account. You'll also receive once per account a Valar boost, allowing you to instantly take a character to level 140. And for those that it piques their fancy, the Ultimate Fan Bundle also gives you a Monster Play Appearance item, which is literally the first time I'm hearing of this being a thing. It's been a very, very long time since I've done anything Monster Play related. The Ultimate Fan Bundle is available for £101.99, $129.99 US dollars, $170.99 Canadian dollars, $208.99 New Zealand dollars, or 118.99 euros. So the reason I think the Collector's Edition is probably the best value out of the three might be a little bit biased coming from myself, but I see a lot of that price difference being tied to the 140 Valar. And I've talked about this a little bit before, but I'm not exactly a massive Valar person. I have no judgment to anyone that uses Valars. It's just I'm not going to use my Valar on my upcoming Mariner, for example, because I'm going to end up overwhelmed by skills and not have a clue about what's going on. Though, quite honestly, I probably end up like that normally anyway. That, and the fact that I'm pretty much mostly interested in the XP boosting items from the expansions anyway. I do wish it would be something other than an earring for once, but I also understand they don't want you stacking a bunch of XP boosts on each other. But ultimately, it depends on what you see in these packs and what you're willing to spend on them. Though I tend to still get the Ultimate Editions because it's my way of giving back a little extra to SSG for the game that I've spent well over 10 years playing now. Overall, though, I'm super excited with what's coming up with the Corsairs of Umbar expansion. The Song of Waves and Wind chapter that was released a few months back was super interesting to me, and I can't wait to get back to that story. And once it's been released, I'm hoping to stream playing through the expansion and then upload a condensed version here to the channel. So keep a lookout for that sometime in the future. And I'm thinking of doing something similar with a Mariner playthrough since it's now been released. So make sure you follow me on Twitch for some streams, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for any videos that get released in the future. But that's all from me today. Let me know in the comments below if you're excited for the expansion, or if you're planning on pre-purchasing or have already pre-purchased the expansion, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.